It is a natural human instinct to want a life free of friction. We spend an enormous amount of energy trying to build a perfectly insulated existence where every wish is met and nothing ever goes wrong. And when that insulation fails, the resulting frustration is absolute. We look at recurring struggles, sudden disasters, and stretches of bad luck, and we feel like victims of a chaotic universe that has slammed into us without reason. The Pathwork text shifts the lens on this friction. It suggests that your earthly suffering is not a cosmic accident at all, but a curriculum you explicitly requested before you were born. If we want to reclaim agency over our lives, we have to stop looking at tragedy as a random series of events. We have to examine the possibility that the obstacles in front of us were placed there by intentional design. To understand why anyone would ask for pain, we have to look at the pre-incarnation spirit state. From that wider vantage point, a soul sees earthly life as a track for development that moves exponentially faster than it does in the comfortable, frictionless environment of the spirit realm. This graph compares two paths of spiritual growth. The shallow, steady slope represents progress in the spirit realm. The volatile, jagged, but steeply rising line represents earthly growth. Ambitious souls look at this math and specifically beg their spirit guides to send them harsh trials, knowing the short-term pain yields massive long-term gains. These requested trials act as a fail-safe mechanism. When a soul becomes absorbed by the material world and its trajectory drops, the system triggers a wake-up call, a specific hardship designed to redirect their attention back to their ultimate purpose. There is, however, a catch to this plan. The exact moment a spirit enters physical matter, its memory of this blueprint is wiped clean. We arrive on Earth blind to our own preparations. We are navigating a maze of our own design, possessing the map but lacking any memory of ever drawing it. This pre-birth amnesia is a necessary feature of the system. If we remembered the answers to the test would be useless. Spiritual awareness only holds value when it is fought for and earned through friction. But the physical realm carries a distinct danger. It is incredibly easy to become mesmerized by the outward, material aspects of life. We get so distracted by seeking comfort that we forget to search inward. When confronted with the difficulty of that inward search, humans rely on a common defense mechanism. We claim that we simply lack the innate character trait of willpower. The text clarifies that willpower is not a prize in a genetic lottery. It is a direct result of gaining deep understanding about your situation and making a deliberate decision to act on it. Claiming you lack willpower is often a form of self-deception. It is a convenient excuse that masks a deep refusal to abandon the comfortable habits you already know. We need to look at human energy as a closed economic system. Every person is given a baseline of strength, and it is up to the individual to decide how to spend it. When you spend finite energy on useless outward efforts or negative emotional loops, the reservoir drains rapidly and does not replenish. But by universal law, channeling energy toward positive goals reorganizes the system. It forms a closed loop, continuously refilling your reserves. Rerouting this flow requires a very practical foundation. You only need to commit to 20 or 30 minutes of daily, focused self-reflection. If you feel you cannot manage that, take the problem of weak willpower directly into that reflection. You simply sit down and ask for the strength to begin. Consistent, small investments of truthful inward focus act as a manual switch. They pull your energy away from the conduits of depletion and connect it to a source of renewal. Within this system, destiny and free will stop acting as opposing forces and start functioning as two sides of the same coin. Your free choice creates the spiritual forms that eventually become your destiny. Our inner condition constructs our outer reality. The painful events that fate seems to drop on your doorstep are actually your own unhandled spiritual flaws, manifesting into concrete physical forms. This mechanism contains its own solution. Because the hardship was generated by a specific inner flaw, that hardship acts as the exact medicine required to address that flaw. Facing your inner truth changes the function of pain. It turns unavoidable suffering from a random punishment into a precise diagnostic tool. All of this inward focus eventually ripples outward. The work of fixing ourselves dictates how we impact our families and the world at large. The text is clear that you cannot force spiritual growth onto anyone else. Persuasion, argument, and imposing your will upon another person are strategies that fail to produce the results we intend. Change happens through indirect influence. When you overcome your own hidden weaknesses, your baseline frequency changes. By simply existing in that corrected state, you cause others to begin vibrating in harmony with your progress. Bringing our hidden flaws out into the open is difficult work, but it prevents the massive, destructive conflicts that inevitably erupt when we keep our spiritual wounds buried. Your repeating hardships will not magically vanish tomorrow, but by choosing the daily discipline of inner work, you slowly recall the blueprint you wrote before you were born. You reclaim your destiny, and you turn your greatest stumbling blocks into the path that leads you home.